The story starts with a group of boys that went out to pick up chicks on a night ride. A high school girl named Hitomi gets kidnapped by several men intending to have fun with her. The college student Yuya forced to drive the van. Before he can save her, Yuya finds that Hitomi has easily killed her attackers. She forces him to drive to an arena for a fight between herself and a lion hybrid. Hitomi wagers Yuya's organs as a prize if she loses, and the fight starts with the lion manhandling the chick. He sends a roar that paralyzes its enemy, as all animals' primal instincts upon hearing the roar is to tremble in fear. But not Hitomi, who bites the lion's fingers off and reveals that she is a hybrid of a honey badger, the most fearless animal in the world. After easily killing her opponent, our boy takes her back to his place to treat her injuries and rests as a thank you for saving him. Later that day, Yuya is informed by Hitomi's guardian Shido that 4 Zaibatsu conglomerates sponsor underground death matches in Japan between genetically engineered hybrids called therianthropes, who combine the intelligence of humans with the power of animals to attract wealthy investors and gain political and economic influence. Due to Hitomi betting his organs, Yuya is technically the only investor she is, allowing her to take part in matches. Hitomi is ordered to protect Yuya, who is given Hitomi's prize money, 100 million, to bet on future fights. Later, while getting some snacks for his monster girl, Yuya gets attacked by another hybrid wanting to learn about Hitomi. Hitomi arrives to save Yuya. The hybrid reveals herself as Ryoko, a porcupine hybrid from the Yatsubushi Zaibatsu, who uses metallic quills as stabbing weapons. She had intended to kill Yuya so Hitomi would have no investor for future matches, but decides to kill Hitomi instead. As they battle, it is revealed that Hitomi's honey badger skin is too tough to pierce, even with metal weapons. As Ryoko prepares another attack, she gets knocked out by a hippopotamus hybrid named Okajima. He asks Hitomi to join the Ashita Zaibatsu. Hitomi, going on her animalistic behavior, angrily refuses until she receives a message from Shido changing her mood and making her agree to fight her next death match as a representative of the Ashita. Hitomi transfers to Yuya's university, where she first meets one of Yuya's friends. While responding to nature call, she meets Aruza, a cheetah hybrid, also from the Yatsubushi. She enrages Hitomi by stealing her underwear and goading her into a fight. Sadly, this catfight gets interrupted by a representative of Mitsukado Zaibatsu and his bear friend. The guy informs them that Hitomi is representing Ishida in the next death match, so they are forbidden from fighting beforehand. That said, the badger girl couldn't bear hearing him anymore, so she attacks the 4-eyed boy, who turns out can move his feet swiftly. After defusing the situation, an unknown observer of the fight revealed that all 4 Zaibatsu are targeting Hitomi, and they will most likely strike during the upcoming death match. To hide their hybrid identities, Hitomi and Aruza end up wearing cosplay, while students from the photography club photograph them. As Yuya returns home, he finds Liu the lion hybrid alive, along with Yoko Mitsukado, the granddaughter of the Mitsukado Zaibatsu's president. Yoko reveals that Hitomi's guardian Shido is using the matches to test his hybrid research. That's why Yuya must not participate in the match as Hitomi's strategist. Yoko is angered when he decides to take part, having hoped his lack of courage would make him withdraw. She decides to take part in the match to ensure Hitomi's death. That said, there is still one obstacle in front of team, and that is to find a third member, as the match requires 3 team members. Okajima attempts to recruit another hybrid, but the only one available is Inaba, a rabbit hybrid who has never won a match. Yet to her credit, she is cute as hell. The cutie pie gets attacked by Akemi, a horned lizard hybrid, who has been preventing other hybrids from joining the Ashita, aka the Misfit team. Inaba is almost shot by the blood bullets from Akemi's eyes, and although she is fast, she gets cornered in an alley when the camera team showcases how thick she is. Luckily, she gets saved by Hitomi, and by using her sensitive hearing, Inaba deduces that Akemi has a twin sister shooting from another location, allowing Hitomi to defeat them. Since fighting before the match is forbidden, Hitomi blackmails the sisters into claiming they were defeated by Inaba. Inaba, excited by her first ever victory, joins their team. Before the start of the matches, Hitomi's team meets Teiga, a tiger hybrid fighting for the Yatsubushi. His sister, Aruza, decides she wants to kill Hitomi. Shigo is announced as the director of the match on Hobody Island in the Philippine Sea. During the match, the hybrids are forced to follow instructions from their investors, who move them around the map like pieces on a chessboard. Yuya is initially treated with contempt by his investor opponents, who think he has no idea how to play the game, but they are forced to take him seriously when he makes an expert move, which is revealed Hitomi has been sending him hand signals via the monitors, telling him which locations to move her to. Hitomi faces her first opponent, Jerome, a bear hybrid representing the Mitsukado. The bear, after talking with Leo, learned that Hitomi tends to measure the opponent's strength and speed by taking the first hit, so he advised him to draw caution and hit her with his most powerful blow, ending her at the spot. Yet, our sexy badger shocks the bear man and the investors by incapacitating Jerome in less than a second with only a single move. Elsewhere on the map, Okajima is placed into a temporary alliance with Shota, a gorilla hybrid from Mitsukato, and Shina, a crocodile hybrid from Sumitomo, to take down Taiga, the former winner of the competition. Using the jumbo terrain to his advantage, Taiga starts leaping all over like a madman, or better yet, like a mad cat, till he incapacitates Ryuji and Shota with ease. Meanwhile, Arusa is maneuvered into an area not covered by the cameras, allowing Kazama, a gecko hybrid, along with Den Omuna, a cobra hybrid, who is a creep beyond redemption, to restrain Kitty Girl, with Den planning on some Animal Crossing type of experiment. Back to the main fight, Okajima resolves to die fighting, but suddenly Taiga gets ordered to move to another area by his investor so he can save Arusa. Before Taiga can leave, he gets immobilized by Ryuji, who traps Taiga's leg in his jaws and goes into a spinning mode, just like how crocodiles do in real life. Yuya realizes Ryuji had planned this, as hybrids failing to follow instructions within a time limit will be executed via explosive collars. The bunny girl is shown alone elsewhere on the island, minding her own business, being thick while digging a hole. Back to the story, the ugly bastard prepares to show Arusa what they do over Anime. Sadly for him, Hitomi, who had been moved there by Yuya, arrived to save Arusa. Yuya is mocked by the investors for making the foolish move to save an opponent, but gets encouraged to believe in his girl by a hottie sitting across from him. As cameras get moved to the area, Hitomi struggles to counter Kazama's fighting style, which utilizes the sticky skin on her fingers. Having been distracted by Hitomi, Den has his face slashed by Arusa. Reluctantly deciding to team up, Hitomi decides to fight Den while Arusa fights Kazama. A flashback shows that Den and Kazama got hired to fight in the match by Sumitomo. Yuya learns that when Shido took control of the matches, he changed the rules so criminals like Den could volunteer to become hybrids and compete. Elsewhere, Taiga is suddenly freed from Ryuji's jaws by Okajima after the latter recalled a convo with his boss on how beasts should value their lives and not throw them away. This action allowed Taiga to flee to his ordered destination and cancel the explosion that would have killed him. Ryuji, angered, and vows to kill Okajima, so he powers up, healing his wound while powering up. We get this fun info on how crocodiles not only have strong bodies that can heal, but also strong immune systems that can even cure HIV. Meanwhile, Bad Bunny is shown underground digging a complicated tunnel and having the best time of her life. While upstairs, Hitomi is still fighting the rapist Cobra. She manages to trick Den and tries to attack his blinded right side, but doesn't realize Den can still see her using his snake tongue to track her body heat. Hitomi suddenly collapses, paralyzed by breathing Den's venom. Kazama also further transforms into a monstrous gecko and overpowers Arusa. Den prepares to put his Cobra cannons in Hitomi, but at the last second, Badger Girl overcomes the paralysis and cuts his private parts off with a single slash, with the creep twisting in pain. Enraged, Den attacks, but Hitomi easily cuts his body in half, severing his tail and incapacitating him. Kazama is left to fight both Arusa and Hitomi alone. As Okajima is about to lose against Ryuji, their fight is interrupted by Kido, a hybrid sponsored by Yoko. Kido is revealed to be Shota's teammate, and he is an absolute unit, able to kill Ryuji with a single punch without transforming into his hybrid form, further shocking the investors by mercilessly being Ryuji's corpse. His reason: if he broke his body to little pieces, it would be easier to turn him to fertilizers to grow the trees he broke. Yup, the guy is an environmentalist. Anyway, seeing the hippo in trouble, the boss orders Okajima to retreat before getting attacked by Shota, only to suddenly disappear. Okajima is shown to have fallen into one of the tunnels dug by Inaba. She surfaces next to Shota, who serves as a prime example of why you shouldn't skip leg day, and upon seeing this atrocity, the bunny girl flees in panic. Meanwhile, Kazama is ordered to flee from the area to a safer location, which doesn't turn out to be a good move as she comes face to face with Tiger Boy, who swiftly kills her. Back to the girls, Arusa and Hitomi happily begin fighting each other. Arusa pins Hitomi, intending to kill her, but instead they begin kissing passionately. They are shown to be drugged by Kori, a civet hybrid from Yatsubishi who can produce a pheromone that causes uncontrollable lust. This enrages Yoko, who considers such tactics shameful and without honor, yet the investors don't give any attention to her angry body language as they get more excited watching Arusa and Hitomi until Yoko angrily demands the game continue. Her true intention was revealed to humiliate Shido by beating his hybrids and tactics and ending his influence over her beloved grandfather, who funny is sitting in a different room with his boy enjoying the show. Hitomi suddenly breaks free from her lust by focusing on her real lust for Shido. She attacks Kaori just as Taiga reaches them. Behind the scenes, the presidents of the four Zaibatsus discuss corruptly legalizing hybrids, turning matches into a legal business owned solely by the Zaibatsu that wins the current game. Shido, as the head of the hybrid creation project, has been manipulating events so that no matter which Zaibatsu wins, he will be the one with all the power. With the underhanded company politics out of the way, we back with the action, or rather the monkey and banana chase, which ends up with Shota managing to trap Inaba but damaging several trees doing so. Yep, the stick legs have forgotten that Kiddo despises anyone who damages the forest. So when the big guy gives the monkey boy a mean look, instead of talking shit out, monkey boy's minority complex kicks in. So he lashes out and tries to knock his leaf-loving teammate, which doesn't work because let's be real, a guy wearing glass, skipping leg day, can't knock out a guy with face tattoos similar to Mike Tyson. So needless to say, Kiddo rips Shota in half, but leaves Inaba alive. After the big man leaves for his new destination, Inaba becomes determined to help Hitomi by telling her info about what happened and how strong the man is. Teiga insists on fighting Hitomi alone without Arusa or Kaori. He reveals that his ultimate goal is to defeat Leo and that Leo is far stronger than people think, and that Leo had only pretended to lose to Hitomi as her strength was so far below his, he didn't take the fight seriously. Teiga, knowing Leo only seriously fights those he considers his equal, strives to become stronger so he could kill Leo in a fair fight. As Hitomi had insulted Leo by believing herself capable of killing him, Teiga became determined to kill Hitomi for the insult. Hitomi and Teiga prepare to fight to the death, which the hottie welcomes with a scary smile. Hitomi takes several hits from Teiga, waiting for the best time to counterattack, which surprises Tiger Boy, who was looking down on her. So he admits she is strong and has the potential to beat Leo, therefore he decides to power up to the fullest and go for the finishing blow. However, his dash gets interrupted by Inaba when she arrives to warn Hitomi about Kiddo, not realizing Teiga is behind her. As Inaba flees, she gets caught by Kori's pheromones and collapses. On the other side, Yuya gets mocked by the investors for killing Hitomi with his playing style. Thinking about how his life was empty until he met Hitomi, our boy overcomes his fear of making choices by focusing on his friendship and decides to forego his turn to move Hitomi elsewhere, allowing her to continue fighting Teiga. Hitomi almost manages to counter Teiga's next attack, but is suddenly attacked by Kiddo's transformed tail, covered in heavy protective scales. At that moment, Yuya realizes Yoko emotionally manipulated him into keeping Hitomi in the fight, so Kiddo, whom she also emotionally manipulated into hating Hitomi, could kill her. Despite being overwhelmed with lust, Inaba tricks Kaori into falling into one of her tunnels. Hitomi attempts to fight back but cannot cut Kiddo's armored skin, hence she gets dumpstered by the big guy who whips her with his tail. As Kiddo is about to kill Hitomi, he is attacked from behind by Teiga, but even he cannot cut Kiddo's skin. Everyone is shocked as Kiddo fully transforms, covering his entire body in thick armor, revealing himself as a pangolin hybrid. Hitomi gets knocked unconscious. Teiga tries to break Kiddo's scales by hitting him over and over and over with his sharp claws till the big guy bowls a classic pangolin move, turning into a ball of steel. Kitty Boy does what every cat does, keep attacking the circle object, but then he gets tricked when the beast among monsters opens a hole which Catboy shoves his arm in, resulting in the loss of it. Teiga is saved by Okajima, whose attack knocks the tank to the ground and they proceed to sumo wrestle, but the tank man doesn't play fair, and he stabs the hippo. However, it leaves Kiddo vulnerable long enough for Teiga to claw out his right eye. Despite this, both Teiga and Okajima are clapped by Kiddo as he stands strong above all. Yoko happily declares her victory for the Mitsukado. However, Hitomi suddenly and explosively awakens and transforms further into her monstrous honey badger form, with much more hair that becomes white. In other words, she became Super Badger Saiyan. Shido reveals that while most hybrids are genetically modified humans, Hitomi was born with hybrid DNA, making her an origin beast, a perfect fusion of human and animal. A flashback to 7 years ago reveals that Shido first encountered Hitomi living like a wild animal in Hong Kong. By feeding and spending time with her, despite the numerous injuries she caused him, Shido managed to gain her trust and named her Hitomi. Shido's co-worker, Shibayama, ended up shooting her with tranquilizer dart, causing her to collapse in an area controlled by the Layman Mafia. They are eventually saved from the Mafia by match overseer Shinozaki. Later, Hitomi began to develop feelings for Shido for protecting her. Back in the present, Hitomi attacks Kiddo with vastly superior strength and speed than her previous attacks. Their punches were so powerful the players had to cover their ears. As the fight continues, they destroy the filming equipment and cut the power, causing the signal to the ship to be lost. Hitomi manages to slash Kiddo's unprotected chest, so he decides to go into ball mode, unwise move on his behalf as World's Cup is near, hence the soccer fever is in the air, prompting her to kick him into several trees, destroying them. Kato's flashback reveals he associates plants with his mother who passed away and left him with his alcoholic father who mistreated the flowers, driving Kato to madness and eventually killing his papa. The fight announcer arrives in time to film the action when Kato severs Hitomi's right arm, forcing his protective scales outwards, becoming rows of knives. He beats Hitomi until she suddenly flings her severed arm into his face as a distraction. During her next attack, she smiles, tricking Kato into thinking for a split second that she was his mother, allowing her to thrust her remaining arm down his throat. As Yoko rages for having lost, Kato manages to stand up only for Arusa to suddenly slash his throat, finally killing him and making her the Killing Bites champion. Thus, Yoko passes out from shock. Surprisingly, Inaba suddenly awakens in the cutest way imaginable to freak out when she sees a cheetah with violence in her eyes. So she tries to flee from Arusa. As she was sprinting away, she accidentally performs a perfect somersault kick, knocking Arusa unconscious. Overseer Shinozaki declares Inaba the Killing Bites champion. The presidents of the four Zaibatsu bicker fiercely, accusing each other of cheating. All the lights and monitors suddenly shut down. Unseen to the representatives, the island has been infiltrated by other hybrids under orders to kill all surviving hybrids, so the match will be declared void with victory going to no one. The evil hybrids, under orders from Sumitomo, attempt to kill all surviving hybrids. Luckily, when one of them shoots his tongue, Inaba, with her sharp sense of hearing, manages to dodge it, just to be restrained by the other assassin's hybrids. After being caught, the honey badger senses something unholy is happening, and so she stands up and defends her comrade long enough till the assassins get stopped by match overseer Shinozaki, who publicly declares Inaba the victor. After the assassination fails, the Sumitomo chairman admits his cheating, yet instead of receiving applause for his truthiness, the Baldy receives the claws of the lion. Just when the old man thought he was safe and started to act arrogantly, the homie says, "What are you laughing at? It's your time to go to Gramps." Turns out the board had other goals in mind, and that is to give civilians access to the hybrid creation surgery. Upon hearing this, the old creep orders Leo to kill them, just to then hear Leo behind him saying, "Whom the hell do you think you are ordering around? I'm a lion, the most prideful animal on the planet, and I don't take orders from weak humans such yourself. I only work for myself." After latterly backstabbing his old boss, Yoko enters the room to see her grandfather's lifeless body, and if that wasn't enough, on top of losing the competition, as well as her beloved creep grandfather, she gets defiled. Leo takes revenge against her for abusing hybrids by having fun with her and claiming her as his slave, or as the series narrators put it, when a lion defeats the other head lions, they take the lioness as a prize and recreate with them. After some time, Yuida's life returns to his same old routine. Well, kinda, as he has now grown some backbone, not letting anyone push him around anymore. Also, having 300 million yen laying in one's living room can be considered anything but normal. 2 weeks later, he receives a message from Hitomi asking him to come to the arena, where she first fought Leo. At the arena, Yuya thanks Hitomi for giving him confidence in himself, while Hitomi thanks him for helping with her matches. Yuya almost confesses his feelings for her, but Hitomi suddenly attacks and kills him, his death having been ordered by Shido. As she leaves, Hitomi begins to cry. Shortly, hybrids are fully accepted into human society. Non-lethal Killing Bites matches become popular entertainment, with many new young hybrids hoping to become champions. However, it's revealed that Yuya is still alive, and he's planning to make use of a couple of young female hybrids to get his vengeance against Hitomi, Shido, and the entire Zaibatsu organization. And with that cliffhanger, the series ends. We hope you enjoyed the video, and please don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps.